Okay. I don't even know where to begin, to be honest. I am trying my best to let go of my relationship. And it's just harder than I anticipated this time around. Um, I think in the beginning of this year when it kind of started, and it's so crazy because I'm like grateful that it like ended the day after New Year's because I'll never forget it. I tend to forget, dates a lot. But it's literally been all of 2024. Um, I feel like of just pure heartbreak, and the first 5 months I think were like literally easy peasy. I was able to like stay pretty positive, I would say, for a long time. But now moving into like the end of the year, like literally 2 months left to go, I still am not over it, which is like, it's hard to admit to myself because, when I went on this trip to New York, I kind of wanted to, I feel like I was forcing that to be my ending to my heartbreak, and giving myself that last break to really let it go, which now looking back is kind of crazy because there's no way after that emotional of a trip somewhere I would be able to just like, yay, I'm just happy now. um I think it literally was the hardest at that on that trip, and then like literally, the following weeks after as well. It's been, I feel like, the hardest time of the year so far. So it's just hard to admit that, in this point, in like literally today. Because like I'm just so sad about it, like all the time, all day, every day. Like it consumes me, and it it's like I feel it there always. Like if Demetrius, in my neutral state is at a zero, like that sadness is at level one, like right behind my mask or my being. I don't know. Yeah, like literally. I think of it like that prism in that one picture. I think it's in like biology class type thing where it's like a prism showing all the planes of the face or the head. Like there's a plane right behind my ears that's like sadness. So it's just like always, it feels like an old friend. Like I'm always sad, I'm always melancholy, I'm always like just in pain, literally pain and suffering and anxiety. Like I feel like that's all that's been like coming at these like older late 20s ages. It's not what I expected, but I definitely expected a lot of physical pain because I feel like my early 20s, that's when a lot of things started, and I'm just like, man, my body's starting to feel the effects of aging, like absolutely. So that's a whole nother thing that I'm dealing with. And whew, it's just hard, literally. It's just hard being a person right now in 2024 after everything that I've been through. This year also really challenged me with my family, and I am falling out. I've been falling out for a while now, this entire year, with a lot of my family, which is kind of insane. I usually don't like to use that word, or crazy, but like that's so insane to me. Like I've been trying my hardest these early 2020s to like reconnect with my family and like, excuse me, feel like accepted, supported by them, like feel welcomed by them. I think more than anything I wanted to feel welcomed, and like there was space made for me to be who I am. And I don't feel like they really knew who I was up until this point. And it's just like that's something that I need to come to terms with also, and just move forward in my life without them. Like this is like what queer people do. Like we have to like go off into the world by our lonesome because we do not have a family. Like we have to go find our family. And that's something else that I've been dealing with this year, like finding my family and finding really good people, some that are new to my life, some that are from my past, which I think is so beautiful, y'all. Like anybody, I've said this before, I think on my Instagram, that like anybody that you meet along your journey, even if you're not friends with them overnight, like I promise you somehow they will make their way back into your life. Like anybody that feels like they, are an outcast, don't have any friends, don't fit in anywhere, especially young people, I promise you it literally gets better. And I genuinely wish I had someone there to like tell me that when I was that age, because just like showing up, like doing all the things that I've done up until this point, like the places that the places that I have put myself in, like I did that shit. Like didn't nobody tell me to do anything. I always went outside and like did what the fuck I wanted. Literally did what sounded interesting to me, like what sounded like it would benefit me, bring me closer to people, like meet new people, like learn and grow. Like I've done some wild things, y'all. Like it's impressive. It's literally impressive. And to be queer on top of that, to be so confident in my skin, and know and confident in my identity, like know who the fuck I am, and have known for like since I can remember, like 6th motherfucking grade when my trauma started. Like bad things started happening to me, and I very much took the stick, and I was like, actually, I'm gonna fucking lead the show now. I don't care what any of y'all have to fucking say. F you, F you, F you, F you. Literally, like I very much became a menace, and it's also hard to make peace with that. Because I don't, growing up, like I didn't feel that. I felt like I was like empowering myself, the way the like passion, the fire, the drive, the anger, all that shit that I had, it was saving my life. Literally, it was saving my life. I can't imagine other kids in my experience that have committed suicide, and just like couldn't figure it out long enough to make it to adulthood, to make it to 28. Like I am grateful for making it this far in life, while at the same time I'm feeling ambivalent about living, because I respectfully didn't ask to be here. Disrespectfully, I didn't ask to be here. So it's hard to make peace with that as well, coming into my late adulthood, like quite literally realizing that, like unlocking that level of consciousness of like what it is to be human. Literally on all the conspiracy shit, literally, like I don't care what you think of when I say that. Like it is way fucking harder than I even thought. Like the fact that I've been doing the things that I have been doing that got me this far, since like, again, if I'm being honest, I would say honestly, yeah, 6th grade. Like I didn't like things about me, around me, and I started to change my environment quickly, and just get away, like literally just escape from my environment, my home. And that's where I'm also trying to come to terms with like being from the hood, being from South Chicago and East Side Chicago. Like I feel like East Side is not, at least when I grew up in East Side, it was not as much of a like hood. Like I remember people, I mean, this is how I feel about South Chicago also, and I've said this before, but like I guess, yeah, both of them, like people would like make it seem like they were like the most dangerous places in the world, and like especially Chicago. And it's like I grew up literally fine. Like I grew up okay. I'm definitely a hood rat though. And I had to like assimilate to white what's the word, academia. That's what I was trying to think. And I taught myself how to do that, literally. So much to the point that I feel like someone made a comment to me recently that I talk like a white person very like well, like, oh, it's like not verbatim what they said, but essentially like the conversation we're having, like it wasn't no shady thing. At least I didn't take it shadily. But it just like, it made me realize that I have been talking like this for a long time. Like and it doesn't feel like I'm code switching, nor does it feel like I now have a white voice. It feels like it's just integrated into my voice. And I also, on a quick random tangent, I think about Ariana Grande, and how like her voice also sounds very different. Her talking voice, every time she talks, like it's always sounding different. And I think that that's like not intentional. Like I think it's healthy for her voice, number one, and number two, it's just like she's like being an actor, like she not, I don't know why I did air quotes, because she is an actor. But yes, being an actor, I think that she, you know, has just used her voice in a lot of ways, and it just has like integrated. And I feel the same for me and my voice. Like, the way that I speak is just like it ebbs and flows. Like it like is like a radio wave, if you know could imagine that as well, because it feels like different things come in for different reasons at different times, but I'm never like consciously code switching. This is literally just how I talk. And I also am trying more things that I'm trying to come to terms with. I've realized as well, some of my cousins, my family members that had like peeped what I was doing and who I was and how I am and who I am, and definitely were like envious of that. And I hate to admit that, or like even like bring this up, but I need to like accept that like, you know, some things always felt very shady to me, and I wasn't crazy. And I feel like I'm okay admitting that, or like, I guess bringing that up, saying that, accusing that, if you will, because I know that I used to also be like that in some ways. Like I will come to each of my cousins, whoever I remember being jealous of, and let them know to their face, like it's not that deep. Like, I was literally a child. Like, I'm not gonna hide that or be embarrassed about that. Like, I very much was envious of certain things from certain cousins, especially when I was growing up. I was always envious of women. Like, I felt like women, girls got to do whatever the fuck that they wanted, and it's like, it's just such a, you know, subjective, singular experience. But like, I didn't see women being like hurt on the street type shit. Like, the women that I was surrounded with, the women that I grew up with and was raised by, it's like they were hardcore women. Like, they were honestly all, I don't even want to get into it. It don't even matter. I grew up very envious of women. The freedom that they had to be who they were and express themselves how they wanted to, I think, was something I always was jealous of as a queer child. So just coming to terms with the fact that, like, you know, with my family issues, that like a lot of it may stem from that. I'm not sure, but because like I am literally the most educated person in my family. I'm the only person on both sides of my family with a master's degree, and in social work of all things. It's literally like that's to me, that's pretty impressive, actually. And for the fact that it has happened the way that it was able to happen was like literally me finessing, like, and like teaching myself how to do what I did, and from my mom also, like, and how far she was able to climb the ladder that is capitalism. It's just, I don't know, like, it's I've always known that, and I've always like reminded my mom of that, but I don't think that she also understands the like weight of what I have accomplished, like how hard it actually was for a brown Latin person, queer person at that, to climb as far as I have. Like, and how would she know? How would she understand? Like, I'm literally first generation college student, like, and like 4-year university, then a grad school level first gen college student. So, and as I was doing that, I also remember like just wanting to like inspire others younger than me, like not only my own family, my own cousins, but like people in the community as well, people whoever this reaches online. Like, I don't even know. Like, I'm like, where did this drive come from? Like, but back to my point in the beginning, it's just that like I was so unhappy with my environment. I was so unhappy. And this is why I think people, it's a dual side of like, it is true, like, if you are not happy with your environment, you are the one that can change it. You have all the power in the world to change your environment. I am living proof of that, literally. While on the other hand, as working class as I grew up, as poor as we grew up, where I had the basic necessities provided to me, and was able to afford a little bit more than that, you know, like I had each of the gaming consoles. Like, I had a Wii, an Xbox, and I think what was the other one? I think that's it. It don't matter. I had, you know, a system now and then, and given that, I was able to accomplish what I was able to accomplish. Like, it was as hard as it was. So kids that are from the suburbs or from more affluent neighborhoods, and kids that are also from the same neighborhood that I am, i.e. others in my family that had nothing, whose like parents were not there for them at all, like deadbeats and like homeless and alcoholics. Like they had like the odds are stacked against them even more than me, even though we're neighbors. So like you have to also account for that. And I think that it's always like on both sides, both each other yelling at each other like, well, I was poor, I couldn't get out of it, and they're like, bitch, you had all the tools around you, you could have did something. So it's just like to have actually done that, given my, you know, my circumstances, what I was born into, like it's craziness, it's insane, it's impressive, and it's also beautiful. I've like literally built something for myself, and something that I can like continue to build and continue to climb. And it's just, again, the fact that like all these things this entire year have been like holding me down, making me, you know, sad, feel bad, have anxiety, have just been like been thrown my way. Like, and it's a lot of like emotional baggage, like emotional trauma, like it's just emotional weight that like I'm steady being thrown this entire year. It's been 10 months of literal hell. 2024 has been like actually the worst year of life so far. While also kind of being the best year. Listen, I'm a human. We're always gonna what is that word? Conflict or like contradict ourselves. That was the word I was thinking of. Hold on, un momento. I'm not sponsored, y'all. I'm just thirsty. I'm a thirsty dry bitch. Excuse me. So back to like this year being very inspirational. I feel like for me, the fact that I like finally started my journey back on social media, I'm so proud of myself for that. The fact that I got hacked on Instagram and still was able to roll with the punches and keep going, and just like being brave enough to like start recording my story, recording my thoughts, my consciousness, and sharing it on the internet. Like no matter how many people, who's watching, all that shit, I don't care. To have the like dreams that I'm now dreaming for myself, and still have this drive, still have this fire and this passion for what I'm doing and what I want to continue to do, and like just literally always pushing myself to my limit of like what I can achieve, what I'm capable of. It's literally impressive. Like I can't believe it. And you know what's even crazier, my love? That I'm a Virgo. Like, are you serious? Are you insane? I feel like I look like a ghost. I hope I'm I hope this is cute. I do not like it at all, but it's literally fine. I feel like I'm starting to age, y'all, but I'm trying to appreciate my looks as I grow, and not be vain, and not be so about, you know, external beauty. But I also want to enjoy it while I have it, so leave me alone. Anyways, so yes, it's been a very eventful year. It's felt simultaneously like the worst and best year of my life. And I'm also just trying to figure out what to do with the content that I have that I kind of took a pause on. I'm trying to come to terms with that. I think I'm still just gonna put it on a drive and just take a break on it, because I really want to just like release it all at once and never look back. However, excuse me, I feel like I don't have the time to do that. I don't even know how to do that. I don't know how long that'll take. Like there's just too many factors there. I'm like, I would have to release it at least once a day to stay like consistent. But I'm just like, damn, that's gonna take like another 3 weeks of like having to like see that content and be in that world still. And I feel like half of me is like, okay, I should do that, and like I'm sure it'll be cathartic and I'll be able to like really let go. But the other half of me is like, ooh, like let's just like bury that right now and come back to that later. Like I feel like if I get further from it, it'll be easier to watch it later. And I feel like there's no, I realize this in therapy, that I just need to make a decision, but there's no like right or wrong answer with that. Like I either just like do it, as I first said, of like, you know, it probably take 3 weeks, because I feel like I don't know how many videos there are, but I feel like around 3 weeks it would take me to like, you know, do one a day and release them, and then be able to wipe them from my phone and like go to the clean slate that I want to start from scratch on, which would be like, you know, continuing from this moment on in the future. And or versus like, you know, just kind of putting it on a drive and coming back to it later. I just feel like it's kind of feeling like now or never, because like later I'm not gonna want to. I'm probably just gonna delete it, and I'm just like, fuck, like I don't want to hold on to this until like forever. Like I just want to like release it from my being now and continue to move forward. So I think that I'm gonna try to figure out how to do that, get to the place of being able to do that, because I need like a steady Wi-Fi connection, and I just want to be able to finish before the end of the year, so that like truly after this year is up, I put everything that I've been through in it behind me, and before it actually, everything that I've been through before this year and during, I can like literally just put behind me. By that point, I'll be like 2-3 months into my job, so like some sort of financial stability should be there by the new year. Also, I will have maybe traveled, or I'm going to be traveling actually that first couple weeks of the new year, so and doing more things that I love literally as soon as the year starts. So whew, I just wanted to share that, I guess, or I needed to share that. Both of them, I'll say. I needed to share, and I really wanted to. I think that this really helps me. So if you think it's weird. You're literally watching it, so I'm guessing you don't. I hope you aren't judging me. What the fuck? We're supposed to be fam, you know? Like, don't be judgy. And anyways, I feel like I need better transition words. I'm trying to figure out how to, like, you know, be a better storyteller. So please let me know, give me feedback. I love good constructive criticism, y'all. I am a psych social worker. I live off of constructive criticism and feedback. It's what makes me better. Anyways, I definitely want to like moving forward, I think what would also help me is to show more of my personality, because it's like really, I need to always remind myself and y'all that like this is like a symbiotic relationship. Like this is therapy for me, because I don't think that like any therapist can handle what I need besides myself. That's like so like conceited of me, I know, but I've tried this entire year. Coming to terms actually with therapy is another thing that I've been processing this year. So again, this is just like a video about things I've been processing or need to process, and come to terms with. So thank you for being a part of it. Anyways, coming to terms with therapy not working for me, and I truly do not think that it's partially the therapist, yes, but it's not the only thing, because my therapist is like exactly who I would want for my therapist. I think I got really fortunate with that, given like his demographics and, you know, his background. However, I do think that like he is just, it seems like he's afraid to go where he needs to with me, which is like what I'm doing for myself now. Or he just may not know how to do that. And I'm not sure, to be honest, that any therapist knows how to do that right now. I think it's very new. Like I'm sure, you know, researchers can also watch the things that I'm saying and putting out, and who I am, how I am, and how I'm being, and like what it is that I'm doing, and also study and like learn more about, you know, human psychology, human behavior. So I think that, you know, the researcher in me also is doing it for that reason. I am a social worker, y'all. Y'all need to remember, I have to like literally collect data and like be able to like, you know, help myself, because I have been feeling suicidal for the past 2 months, and, you know, you'll see stuff like that, you know, too on my channel. Anyways, that was not a good transition word. I'm so critical of myself. However, anyways, nevertheless, yeah, it's helpful for me to share with myself. I, you know, do well watching myself back. The researcher in me gets to be happy because I'm collecting data. I'm watching, you know, and studying myself literally. And then I also get to share with y'all, because I don't have someone to share any of this with anyway. Like I'm trying to also come to terms, I guess, this year with if I'm feeling lonely or alone, or lonely and alone, because I genuinely feel so much better when I'm by myself, and I don't have to worry about people's like eyes, their, you know, judgment, and I feel like it's really those two, and I'm sure other things as well. There's always so many things with me, but I don't feel like I'm ever really tripped up by people perceiving me. I think it's really their like judgment and their like eyes of like watching me. I feel like I'm always being watched and judged rather than like being perceived. Or I don't know if like, I guess to some that is the same thing, but like I feel like it's different in my mind, in my world. And I am always being watched because I put a lot of my being out onto the internet, so on multiple platforms as well. So my consciousness is very much being split. um, but you know, it's interesting. I think that it is cool though that they're being connected to the internet. I'm sure that like they're somehow living and like parts of my soul. You know, like I don't know. I bet that that'll come out one day. That like, you know, recorded content is like a way of like your soul living on forever, kind of like trapped or in a loop. But also it's art, because that's I guess another thing that I do this for. It feels like very cathartic for me and very like creatively fulfilling. Like I want to make films, I want to make music, I want to make art. I want to build me a house. I want to be an architect. I want to do so much in my lifetime. I still would not be upset if like I ever died early or young. However, I still, since I'm going to be living and going to be, you know, continuing to take another breath and chug on, I would like to see how much I can accomplish in this life. I also would like to be a dancer, and like not just like in like a performance, or like I was gonna say like hip hop, or like a performance, like musician kind of performer or dancer. I'm sorry. I like want to do ballet. Like I want to explore both of those. I also want to get into pole dancing. I also want to do calisthenics. Like I just want to see what literally I'm capable of. And I guess I also want to be a YouTuber, vlogger, influencer, and artist. Like to me, all of them are encompassed within me being an artist. Like I identify with that word the strongest, the most. I've always identified with that word, especially when I moved from South Chicago to Blue Island and I transferred to a suburban school. Like that school, I will always say, just that is, I wouldn't say it's why I am who I am, because it was me being who I was to before then to get to that school. But that school literally was like me having the internet in real life. Like I was able to learn everything that I needed, and even realize and gain this level of consciousness about how far back I was being, you know, held being in South Chicago. That's what I'm saying. You need to literally account for that. Like me being a little disobedient, and these are the words of my mother, me being disobedient, rebellious, a problem, all that shit, a villain. I feel like I'm adding that one in there. Etc. is what got me to literally like learning everything that I know. Like it opened the rest of my world. So and I've said this before, it's just very hard to stop being whoever that version of Demetrius was, and then whoever I became after that, once I, you know, progressed through suburbia and suburban high school and like collegiate level life, and living on my own. Like it's literally been a journey, y'all. And having like actual long-term gay relationships, and like having best friends, and also just friends, and like just the ups and downs of relationships with others. Like it's literally been a journey. And I guess I'm just gonna end there, because like I can literally keep talking forever, and I just really don't want to. I think y'all get the point. So I am gonna end this here, and I really, really appreciate anyone that watches me. And please, like, literally start commenting, y'all. I want to start having conversations, because I don't got nobody to talk to, which was my final point. I do want to start to like summarize my videos. I could not tell you all that I talked about in this video. I would like really have to think about it hard, but I think I did a really good job. Let me know, please, if I'm starting to get better with how I share my consciousness with y'all. I think that this was like a really good video. Usually I'm like very scatterbrained, very like chaotic energy, and like I usually love that about me. But I think now I want to start having more of a focus and like start being more focused to myself, and like and not curated at all. Well, I don't want, yeah, I'm gonna say curated, because I feel like I've been afraid of having a negative stigma attached to that. But now I'm just like, no, I think that that's a beautiful thing, to curate my life, because that's what I need. That, like, you know, like what I'm saying out loud is like how I'm constantly creating the world around me. Like literally I'm like laying the path forward with the words that I speak. So I think I do want to be very purposeful in what I say and how I say it and why I'm saying it. So I very much want to become more focused and more curated with my vision, my progress, my life, and my journey. And I always, always, always will love sharing this. This is, like I said, something that really helps me, and I feel good and I feel better doing it. And I'm proud of myself. So I'm going to continue. And I just want to say I love you, and I love me, and I love us. And I hope that we genuinely get to like build a relationship, because I guess all I have is the internet right now, y'all. That's gonna like be my focus for a while. I don't care if I'm some weird kid, some weird 28-year-old kid, man, person posting videos on the internet, whether people watch it or not. It helps me, and I love it, and I love you for making it this far. So doll, I will see you in the next one. Bye.